Hello and welcome back again to 100 Books a Year, a YouTube channel I set up to complete my 2019 personal goals to read more books and get over my fear of public speaking. Have you ever heard of a saying that everyone has a book in them? The complete saying, I think, is from Christopher Hitchens, a hugely influential journalist and public intellectual known for his quick mind and sardonic put-downs, and it goes like this. Everyone has a book in them, but in most cases, that's where it should stay. Well, while Hitchens got a point that some books are better off staying inside, I do feel grateful that others managed to set out in our world. Otherwise, how utterly boring our life would be without The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, The Kill a Mockingbird, Gone with the Wind, and so on. While writing a book is a herculean task, there are still miles to go before it's published and reaches the hands of readers. Although the public love the story of overnight success, in the publishing world that rarely happens. Instead, rejection is the norm. Even famous writers from Kipling to Stephen King and J.K. Rowling all have been rejected countless of times before finally making it. Today's video is about authors who spent years, even decades, writing and rewriting their first novels. The youngest started on her book idea at the age of 18, while one published her debut at 69 years old, and others were already in another career before switching to writing. Now let's start with Madeline Miller and The Song of Achilles, an epic retelling of a classic tale. This is the book that the bookish communities can't stop and won't stop gushing over. Released in September 2011, The Song of Achilles took Miller 10 years to write. After discarding a completed manuscript 5 years into her writing, she started again from scratch, struggling to perfect the voice of her narrator. Her second novel, Circe, was an instant #1 New York Times bestseller and is currently being adapted for a series with HBO Max. Next on my list is Crackin Tosh and her first novel, I Let You Go. Tosh spent 12 years in the police force before leaving in 2011 to become a full-time writer. Her first novel won the Sixteenth Old Peculiar Crime Novel of the Year award in 2016, beating J.K. Rowling in her Common Strike novel, and it should be on the list of unputdownable and unexpected plot twist novel list. Armando Lucas Courier had been an award-winning journalist before publishing his debut novel, The German Girl, in 2016. In an interview, Courier revealed that his grandmother sparked his interest in the St. Louis passenger line, where 937 German Jewish immigrants were denied entry into Cuba, the US, and Canada, only to be returned to Europe on the brink of a Second World War. As a refugee, the author found the story of the St. Louis follow him throughout his life. The novel became an international bestseller that had been translated to 14 languages and published in more than 20 countries. His second novel, The Daughter's Tale, was published on May 7, 2019. A Place for Us by Fatma Farheen Mirza is the first book that I picked up in 2019, and I couldn't ask for a better start. After starting pre-med classes, Mirza switched to creative writing and later gained a place at the prestigious Iowa Writers' Workshop, whose alumni include Ann Patchett and Curtis Sittenfeld. In an interview with The Guardian, Mirza said that the first image of the novel came to her when she was 18. It was of a family gathered at the wedding of their eldest daughter. As they're about to take the family photograph, their son, Omar, cannot be found. The entire novel was written as a way for her to understand this moment. What were the dynamics in this family? What caused this fracturing with Omar? And then she began writing it in one of her creative writing classes and on her own at weekends. What followed is an extraordinary and beautiful novel exploring tensions within a devout Muslim family in California around the turn of the 21st century. Another captivating novel debuting in 2018 is Delia Owens' Where the Crawdads Sing. Owens is an American author and zoologist who already published memoirs and other nonfiction books on her life working and studying African wildlife. At the age of 69, Owen published her first novel, which later became the best-selling hardcover title in the first half of 2019. A haunting tale of love and murder, the novel follows protagonist Kaya Clark, who navigates life alone in the coastal North Carolina March after her family abandons her. Kaya is accused of murdering a rich townie named Chase Andrews. The chilling murder mystery contains striking echoes to Owen's own life. The author and her conservationist former husband, Mark Owens, were at the center of questions about the unsolved 1995 murder of an unidentified African poacher, according to an article on Slate. The Silent Patient is the most anticipated suspense novel of 2019 and being made into a Hollywood film. The author, Alex Michaelides, is no new to films, having written The Devil You Know starring Rosamund Pike and co-wrote The Con Is On starring Uma Thurman. The Silent Patient, his first novel, came as he was feeling disillusioned about his work as a screenwriter. In this gripping tale, the author combined his knowledge of Greek tragedy, psychotherapy, and screenwriting to craft a novel you won't be able to stop reading. Lastly, the most recently published debut novel on my list is The Dearly Beloved by Kara Wall. As mentioned in my earlier September book review video, I read this novel straight through in one night. Another graduate of the Iowa Writers Workshop, Kara Wall worked on her debut novel on and off for 13 years. In an interview with the Kirkus Review, the author shares that she is used to being met with skepticism when she explains that she's writing a book about ministers. As much as this book is decidedly about faith, it's more a raw, honest examination of the way we overcome our differences and the hard work it takes to become truly empathic. So there we have it, the 7 authors I've discovered this year in their debut novels. The books did not happen overnight. Some of the authors were already working in the writing or publishing world before penning their first book, while others were already in a very different career. One thing they have in common is the dedication and diligence to follow through their stories. And our reading life is far richer thanks to their works. That's all for today. As usual, here's how we can stay connected for more book talk and discussions. I'll be back soon with a special video for my favorite holidays of the year, Christmas. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching and see you soon.